Great, beautiful, blessed morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching from. I don't know. I don't know your life. Hi. If you don't know me, my name is Tenille Stewart. I do a multitude of things, but right now I help women diagnosed with lupus or other chronic illness go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative, amongst other things. Um, Today's the day. Today is the day. Let me know if you see me. Today I cannot stream live on TikTok. However, I should be on Facebook. I should be on Instagram. I should be on YouTube. So if you see me, holler at a player. We have an amazing guest today. I'm going to read the um, Instagram post that I made the first time that this man was on my show because he's amazing. Okay. He has like all of the qualifications and all of the accolades. Like, give this man the flowers immediately. And he's going to help us today talk about activism. So, hold on a second, guys. Can you see me? Who can see me? I need these comments to go so I know. Am I being seen? Okay, let's check Instagram. All right, we're good. I see. Hi, Mom. Awesome. We need people to see this because this is how we change the world. This right here is how we change the world. So, I guess I should build it up. So our guest today, I'm going to read what I put. Okay, so, today on Happily Healed with Tenille. Hi, I'm Tenille. I'm honored to be joined by Christopher Reed. Okay, he's a man whose life's work is changing the landscape for the lupus patients across Georgia, especially the men and people of color. Diagnosed with lupus at 16, over 35 years ago, Chris has survived organ-threatening flares, built a prestigious legal career, and gone on to serve as a lawyer, lobbyist, writer, public speaker, and now community impact manager for the Lupus Foundation of America, the Georgia chapter. As a founder of the Brothers of the Wolf, the first lupus support group for men, Chris is on a mission to make sure no one faces lupus alone, not in policy rooms, not in clinics, and not in life. Please welcome, Christopher Reed.
Hey, Tenille. Thank you for the introduction, the lovely introduction.
So welcome. I'm so happy to have you back.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. Oh,
Yes, we have
goodness.
so much to talk about. Okay.
We do.
So, my first time being at Advocacy Day was last year around this time, like the 13th of last February. And it was really, really cool. It was really, really cool. So please tell the audience, well, first tell them who you are, where you're from, and what you do, so that, I gave the intro, but please let them know.
Perfect. So I live in Conyers, Georgia, not too far from where you live, Tenille.
Yeah.
We're kind of neighbors.
Yeah.
But I've grown up in the Atlanta area all of my life. As you said, I've lived with lupus for 35 years. But one of the things I want to say is that health policy, helping people who are living with chronic illness, is a passion of mine.
Mm.
It's been a passion of mine for quite a long time, and I think it's the reason. Sometimes I say it's my purpose in life, really, and that lupus came to me not necessarily as a bad thing always, or we always look at it as a bad thing, but maybe it's a good thing in the sense that I've been able to help people in my capacity as a lawyer, lobbyist, writer, and community impact manager here at the foundation.
I believe that completely. Like, and even if it is technically a bad thing, right? Like, it's bad. But however,
Oh yeah.
The way that you turn it around to be something, to be a blessing to so many people is remarkable. It is not an easy thing to do, and and you make it look easy, actually. Like, to be working and having lupus at the same time in any capacity is a miracle. And you're doing great things.
It is. It is. And one of the things that I really, and we may talk about a few bills or few laws, particularly some Medicaid is a big issue.
Yeah.
But yes, many people with lupus cannot work, and that's such a significant problem in our country, in this state.
Mhm.
People with chronic diseases are looked at as second class citizens, and we need to change that. We need to lift up our voice to make a difference and make a change so that we're not looked at as second class citizens. That's in the government, that's at work. I've gone through my many conflicts with employers who say, well, wait a minute, why do you have this many doctor's appointments all the time? And then why are
Mhm.
you out, or why do you need to work from home? And it's always a conflict. So it's important for us as people living with lupus, people impacted by lupus, that we use our voice, that we raise awareness about lupus
Right.
so that we don't suffer on the job economically, socially, and so forth.
Exactly. It's interesting that people who don't have anything wrong, able-bodied people,
Yes.
do their life like their regular everything, and they look at a lupus patient and they don't understand, especially if you look moderately normal. Maybe you use a little cane, maybe you have a wheelchair, maybe you look like walking, talking, running marathons, looking normal, right? And they have no idea the fight that you are fighting every single day. It
Hmm.
is hard for them. I've noticed it's hard for them to realize that, like, no, we do need the extra help. No,
Yeah,
we do need that extra grace. No, we do need to go to those doctor's appointments to make sure that things are going right, because you can look completely fine and drop dead the next day. And they're like, wow, like that's so sad. And they'll replace you within 3 days. Like,
that is
so
that is my story. That you hit the nail on the head.
exactly,
That's part of
exactly.
my
So,
story as well.
so how did you get into advocacy in the first place? Like what led you here? Like it was just being
About
sick or?
About 15 years ago, I was working as an attorney for a judge in Fulton County, Georgia, right in Atlanta, and I always miss Advocacy Day at the Georgia State Capitol. It's been going on for many, many, many years, and I think way back to like 2007 was
Oh
our
wow.
first year, advocacy year, and I'm right near the cap. I was right across the street from the Capitol, but I never went. And finally, I went, attended my first advocacy day, and our amazing facilitator, our amazing organizer, Kim Schofield, was leading us at advocacy day. She is now a state representative, so she's taken her advocacy from one point, and she lives with lupus, from one point to be a state legislature, and she's been a state legislature for quite a long time. I think like 8 years right now.
Wow.
Um, but she really empowered me to really get involved, and with my legal background, it really helped the chapter to make some
Hmm.
decisions. And let me tell you, this is the reason why we advocate. We've been going there for, like I said, since 2007. Finally, in 2014, the state of Georgia actually created a bill, signed a bill, the governor signed a bill into law, creating this amazing council that uh, develops programs, works on think tanks. They do so much for the state of Georgia. They're called the Georgia Council on Lupus Education and Awareness. They receive $150,000 a year for lupus research and development, and that goes to the Georgia Department of Public Health. And that's only because we keep going back to the Capitol. We keep wanting to make a difference. We keep speaking to our legislators to make a difference, and that's something we need to do. I led that council for 5 years. I was appointed by the then Governor Nathan Deal to do that,
Mhm.
and we've developed many programs throughout the state as a result of that funding and the work we've done there. That could not have been done without the help of people from the Lupus Foundation. That could not have been done without lupus patients and their caregivers
Yeah.
going into the Capitol, speaking to legislators and making a difference.
Right. It's so true. It's so true. So like it was my first time going last year. The year before I saw it happening, and like the people that I had met at other lupus events going and like posting their pictures, and I was like, oh man, I kind of want to see what that's about. Like I want to go next year. So I made it a point to go, and I was nervous because I didn't really know people like that. Like, I'm new to Georgia. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go. But then my friend Angela is she she hosts the monthly lupus support group. So she's like, yeah, you gotta come, I'll be there and whatever. So I was like, okay, all right, let's go, let's be brave. And I went, and it was so easy and so cool. We all learned about what we were, the things we could talk to them about. We found out who our specific people were that we need to go talk to. They help you write down like the requests you have. Like there's everyone there to talk to. You can take pictures with your person for your area. It was so cool. I felt like it's important.
You know what? So many people are nervous about talking to elected officials, but remember, particularly when it comes to state legislation and state legislators, they live in your neighborhood. They live in your community. So they they could go to the same church as you, or they can shop at the same grocery store as
Right.
you. They're normal people, and you have the opportunity, whether it be during legislative session or outside of, to communicate with them, tell your story. And that's what we try and emphasize is it's important to tell your story, tell your lupus story, tell your worst lupus story so that they understand. So maybe, when there is a piece of legislation that they have to consider that may help us or something that may hurt us, they take our stories into mind.
Right.
Let me tell you a good thing. All right, on a national perspective, last year we went to Washington, D.C., found out that the U.S. Congress ceased funding for lupus research in the Department of Defense. So what did we do while we were in Washington? We emphasized the importance of funding for lupus research in the Department of Defense. So people who oftentimes who are in the military go through traumatic events, which can spark a lupus flare if the person has underlying lupus. So the Department of Defense has been studying this for years and years and years. And for some odd reason, the Congress decided to drop funding. But we just found out recently in December that they are reinstating that funding at $10 million. And that's because we went to the U.S. Capitol to make sure that they understood. So that's what we can do as people living with lupus. We can make a difference. Think about it. We talked about, we're looked at as second-class citizens oftentimes because we live with a chronic illness. But think about the changes that we can make. Think about what we see on the news and what we can do. The cost of prescription drugs, the fact that many of us are in medical debt because our medical bills are so high. The fact that we are sitting here waiting for Social Security benefits, but we can't work. So that means we have no medical insurance to cover us. And I deal with this every day as a community impact manager, dealing with patients who are waiting for Social Security, but have no funding because they can't work while they wait for Social Security decisions to be made. So we need to tell our story, and that is so significant, so important.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like that was a great example of change that can be made because of your voice. This is the problem, that people feel like their voice doesn't count. And in every part of the government, they are working for us. We elected them. It is us they are listening to. So make noise, make good trouble, make yourself annoying. Be that what do they call it? The squeaky wheel. Be the squeaky wheel.
Be the squeaky wheel.
There's just no reason for us to be suffering in silence. If you're gonna suffer anyways, if you're gonna be unhealthy anyways, why would you do it and not speak up about what's happening to you, how you need help? And people are not gonna help you if you're not making noise. There's so many mild, like little diseases and little things that people have never heard of. I have a very great friend who's on this podcast right now who did not think lupus was anything besides a rash. She thought, oh, you have lupus. It's that butterfly rash. And had no idea until we became friends of all the things that I go through on a regular basis that are just like not super visible to the outside world. funding Social Security I had for a long time, and it is such a blessing and such a help. It's it's not gonna take you to millionaire status or do anything super
Right.
exciting. It is such a buffer, though. It is such a buffer. Like, there is sometimes a certain amount you're allowed to work and this and that, whatever. But if you are flat on your back in the hospital, guess what? The bills are still coming up.
Yep.
There's still things you need to pay for, life you still need to live, even if it's a smaller, more reserved, more like in your house life. The debt collectors do not care where
They
you
do
are.
not care.
They will be calling you and mailing you and all the things. So to know that people are out there who need assistance that can't get it, like the fight for me to get Social Security when I got it, it was literally the picture that I show everyone. Like, I was in a hospital bed, flat on my back. Trigger warning. Definitely, I was looking like this. And this is the only reason that I got Social Security. I had nurses and doctors advocating for me. It shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that extreme.
It could be. And we need to educate disability educators. We need to educate judges. We need to educate members of Congress, members of the legislature about it so that they can change the requirements for Medicaid. They need to better understand lupus and how it works. And if we don't do that, we're going to continue to have difficulty getting Medicaid or getting disability is what we're really talking about.
Right.
There's one bill right now, and the government has been talking about, um, putting in these parameters for people who are getting Medicaid insurance. Now, Medicaid insurance is different than disability insurance. Medicaid insurance is just for people who are low income, who make less than $25,000 with Medicaid. We don't have Medicaid extension in that definition here in Georgia. So if you're making less than $25,000, you're almost out of luck. If you get it, you have to work a certain amount of times per year. And that's what they're implementing through the big, beautiful bill in Congress come 2027 is the same thing, that people who are on Medicaid need to work in order to get medical insurance through the government. We do have a bill right now in Georgia. A congressman or member representative has filed this bill that would use state funds to extend Medicaid as opposed to federal funds. So that and it would also help the Affordable Care Act, because premiums to the Affordable Care Act are out of this roof right now. And so we certainly need supplemental funding from the federal government or the state government to help us pay for insurance.
Right. It is like being alive as a human being on this planet is pretty pricey. But being alive as a sick person, a chronically ill person, a person with any kind of medical need, like, it is astronomical. It's astronomical. And like, there are ways that they price gouge and all kinds of stuff. Like, finding medication, sometimes you need to like go to the actual what is it called? The people who make the medicine, what's it called?
Pharmaceutical companies?
Yeah, like the actual company. Not like through the pharmacy, but like the actual company, and talk to them and tell them, like, I need this. What is the price with you if I get it straight from you, et cetera, et cetera. Like, the workaround is there you go. Listen, the warrior mom, Bren Harris, she's on here right now. She always says on her podcast, what is the workaround? Who says, what is the workaround? And that is so legit. Like, these are always.
Yeah, the 4 medications that have been approved for lupus are costly. Safnello, Benlysta, Lupkynis, and the new one, what I can't never remember the name of it. They're very, very costly, very, very expensive. And you know what? You can go and get patient assistance for all 4 of those medications directly from the pharmaceutical company.
Right.
Which is, sometimes if you are a Medicaid or Medicare, you don't qualify for Medicaid for patient assistance. And that's another big problem that we need to fight with pharmaceutical companies and make sure that everyone has access to these medications.
It's imperative. It's imperative. You guys, thank you so much for the comments. Please comment where you're tuning in from, and um, let us know if any of this affects you. If you've ever been in a situation that you need medication and it's too expensive, or have you even been to a capital to advocate for yourself? Have you ever done any advocacy, and what is holding you back if you haven't? I would love to know. If you've never done advocacy, was it just because you were shy like I was, or is it because you don't think it works, or what is the reason? Because the more of us that show up, the louder our voice is. If you literally say nothing, write on your paper and hand it in,
Mm-hmm.
our voice is loud. Okay. So I want to see everybody there, and I want to say that our friend is on the flyer, and that's so exciting. Um, this I have so many
There
pictures
she
of her.
goes.
Do we see it? Do we see it? Okay, good. So she actually just got a new kidney,
Yep.
and I had an episode a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. It was actually December probably. That we were talking about getting new kidneys, and she was supposed to be there, and she was recovering from her brand new kidney surgery. So,
Yep.
speaking of getting a new kidney, our friend Chris here is in the market. If anybody got a spare kidney,
Um,
let's go ahead and put in that donation, because it's very weird to me that a lot of people have not been tested. Oh
yeah.
wow, let me look at these comments right here from YouTube. Says, yep, I'm a trans woman who needed to get epidural. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say that word. And for some reason, even with insurance, they tried to charge me $120K.
Yep. Yep.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I want to do a whole new show on like pharmaceuticals and regulations around that one day. But
Yeah.
there's a whole schism about that. But yes, I need a kidney. Um, right now, I think Tenille has my website.
Yes, I'm gonna have
Uh,
it everywhere. I'm gonna post it in the comments. I think the comments right here go to Facebook and YouTube, and then I'll post it everywhere else. If you don't get it, it'll be in the description of the audio only podcast apps too. Please at least get tested, or figure out if you could be a match for anyone.
mhm.
I'm partial that you should be donating to my friends because they're my friends. But other than that, there's so many people out here that really need kidneys, and it's
N-
outrageous that
Yeah, 93,000 people in the country need kidneys.
like we're not all Selena Gomez. We don't like
Hmm.
necessarily have a Bessie who's a match. So please go look at specifically Chris's. Oh, I see it's on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's on Facebook or Instagram, but go to all of my friends' links that I post everywhere all the time, because people are hurting. And like, as much as Chris looks so super normal and dapper and whatnot, he needs his kidney. So if you've never gotten tested or never even investigated what it would take to be a donor, you might be able to be a donor and you don't think you are. Just investigate, just see. It would literally hurt no one to find out. So we are gonna close this up really soon. Now, so reading the other comments here, we have Strong Island in the house. We have Oklahoma in the house. We have a lot of random weird questions that I'm not gonna answer on the internet. But beautiful wisdom here, 100%. Thank you for sharing this today. Oh, love you, sister. God bless. I gotta go make phone calls. Just want to say I love you and miss you. Praying for you always in spirit and in truth. Thank you, Derek. A lot of hey girls. Hey guys. And you see me. Awesome. Authentic. So much wisdom right here. Thank you for sharing. Social Security. Facepalm. Yes, agreed. Facepalm. It's a lot. Value. Being the voice of the voices. Exactly.
Yep.
If you say nothing, it's like you never existed.
Exactly.
All of this is not to fall on deaf ears. Like, they're listening. It's just if you're not putting an effort to say anything, they have nothing to listen to. Please come to Advocacy Day. The one in Atlanta is on the 19th, question mark?
19th. Yep.
Yes, 19th. Okay, I'm
And
putting the flyer.
if
Go
you
ahead.
can't make that, come to the national one, which is April 19th.
Woo! So going back to DC?
Yes.
That's really, really cool. Awesome. So Thursday, February 9th, 2026. We are going to Advocacy Day at the Capitol. That's right here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you've never been, come. If you want, we can link up and we'll go together. We'll stand together, okay? Meeting amazing people, like feeling really fancy in a government office, like it, and just like fellowship of people who are going through similar things that you're going through. It's worth it. It's worth your time. Like, builds up your immune system. Bring a mask. Tis the season for all the sickness.
Oh yeah.
But we have a great time. So in closing, what would you like to say to the audience about yourself or advocacy?
Oh, I want to say, I think it was Jimmy Carter said, and this comes probably from the Bible, but together we can move mountains.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Together we can move mountains.
Amen.
And we
Amen.
can.
I love that. And we definitely can, and we definitely will. Like, this is Chris's life work is advocacy, and we should all put a little advocacy in our life work, because what is the point otherwise? Like, if you're not helping people who are coming after you, then what are you doing? Like, you want to leave an impact. There's your birth date and your death date, and the dash in between is the part that you really
Yes.
want to make count.
Yes.
So make your dash count by impacting others in
Yep.
the best way that you can. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really super appreciate you, Chris. Like, I understand, like, we have the guy. He's the guy. He's an advocacy guy. Okay. So thank you so much for spending time with us here. And y'all
Thank you.
have a wonderful day. Stay happily healed. We'll be back on Monday. Bye.